Welcome, my fellow Quest heads and VR nerds. This is Eyes on VR, where I take a look at every VR game I can get my grubby little mitts on, but VR shooters go straight to the front of the line. I also keep you up to date with VR gaming and VR tech news as well. Really big stuff coming up this week, everything from mind control in VR games all the way up to Doom Eternal coming to VR. Please, yes, hopefully, I really hope that's the case. And also some massive news for all you Quest heads out there. What non-VR game would you like to see come to VR? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, timestamps will be down below in the description, so if you're looking for a particular story, you can skip right ahead to that. If you enjoyed the video though, please leave a like, it really helps out the channel. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more PCVR and Oculus Quest content. Don't forget to stick around till the end of the video and I'll let you know what's coming up on the channel in the next coming weeks. And with that, let's get to the news. Okay, so first up, I'm going to address the Oculus Quest 3 rumors that I've seen a bunch of people talking about at the moment. I've even heard some people say that it's coming out this year, but there is no proof of that so far. The words Oculus Quest 3 haven't even come out of someone at Facebook or Oculus's mouth so far. So I'm going to clear this up right now. What people seem to be stretching into 8 to 10 minutes worth of content is that Mark Zuckerberg himself said at the Facebook Q4 earnings call, and I quote, "We will be continuing to work on new hardware as well. The new hardware will fit the same platform, so the content that works on the Quest 2 should be forward compatible. So that we're going to build one larger install base around the virtual reality headsets that we have." So clearly this means that they are working on the, let's call it the Oculus Quest 3, or at the very least they are working on a new virtual reality headset. But how far along is it? What's the hardware? What can it do? Nobody knows. Everyone is speculating like this is real news. And this is the paragraph that everyone's on about. It shows Oculus and Facebook are going forward with what we can assume to be the Quest 3, and that is great news, don't get me wrong, but this is all we know so far. So can you expect a Quest 3 announcement and release? Who knows? Who knows when that's going to happen? And while Mark Zuckerberg talking about this is great news for all the Quest heads out there, let's just calm down and wait till we hear something more concrete about exactly what kind of headset they are working on. Up next is something that makes me think that we are really moving forward into the future here. It's a product called Nextmind. This is a brain-computer interface. You can just clip it onto the back of your virtual reality headset or a baseball cap. It's got a battery inside, charges by USB port, and it has 9 sensors that make contact with your head to read signals from the visual cortex of your brain, and those signals are sent to a PC via Bluetooth, and boom, the actions that you're thinking about start happening within the game that you're playing. So I'll try and explain this in a way that even I can understand, because looking into it, it was pretty complicated, and this is basically what I got from it. So when you look at things in the real world with your eyeballs, your eyes are taking in the light from your surroundings and what you're looking at and those images, but it's your brain that is processing all of that information, and the brains have certain signals that are the same and sort of recognizable from person to person. From, oh look over there, that's a square, or oh look, that's a triangle. Because all of this is processed through the visual cortex of your brain, the Nextmind can interpret those signals and communicate that back to the PC for the desired effect, which is insane. One thing that has me a little wary in the Nextmind though is the Nextmind does have a control switch on the program you get with the hardware that basically asks, like everything else does, whether you want them to collect any of your data. And whilst you can say no, and that's fine, I want to know exactly what kind of data they would collect, you know? That does get me thinking that this is a bit of a two-sided coin here. The tech is amazing, but what can it get from you while you're using it if you let them? Clearly we're moving into the future here. Valve has also talked about doing the same thing with the new headset that they are working on that may replace the Valve Index, having some kind of, not mind reading, but you know, brain interface within that headset. They're looking into it because they think it's the future too, and Valve is not really wrong about this kind of thing, but it does concern me slightly what they can get from you as a consequence of us having access to such amazing technology. But I will put a link in the description down below for the Nextmind, because you should go have a look at that and see what it's all about, because it's pretty crazy. More great news for Quest heads out there this week. The Oculus Quest has had a lot of stuff going on this week. An app lab has just been released on the 2nd of February 2021 for the Oculus Quest systems. So App Lab is basically the new side quest. It requires no side loading. It all happens in your Quest, no PC needed at all. Now, if you don't know what SideQuest is or how it works or even how to get it, check out the detailed video I did on everything to do with SideQuest, including downloading, installing, and using its extra features to bump up the graphics for your Oculus Quest. You can check it out here. So basically, App Labs will function just like SideQuest, with developers being able to upload their games to it. Oculus said today that they are introducing App Lab, a new way for developers to share their creations safely and securely with Quest owners without store approval. Now, this just means games like on SideQuest can be released there in any state that they like, not the high quality of the official Oculus Quest store. So whether you're a big studio or just a lone developer trying to get their game out into the world, App Lab is for you. Now, before anyone starts freaking out that SideQuest is going away, SideQuest is still a thing, and it will continue to be, as Oculus have said. SideQuest will now have an App Lab section. Also, App Lab will not be promoted on the Oculus Quest store itself. You'll need to search for the game you want by name within the store on your Quest, and then go to the App Lab section of the search results to find it. So, if you go to SideQuest and go to their App Lab section instead, you can just surf through all the games that are on there without having to know exactly what you're looking for, just like you would do with SideQuest normally. One of the great features here for devs with games in the early stages, especially multiplayer games, is that App Lab gives automatic updates, just like the official store. I've seen people stop playing games in early stages because they missed an update and then couldn't connect to a server because they no longer support that version. And because of that, they've just bailed. But now devs can tweak the updates as they go along like normal, but everyone who's downloaded the game gets the updates at the same time. No more waiting for a notification or checking back to SideQuest every day or every week to make sure your game's up to date. It will just be the right version every single time, which is a lot more freeing for people who are playing and the devs as well, of course. Now, I am so happy that Oculus have stuck with the awesome guys at SideQuest. They've more than included them with the App Lab and the App Lab process. That is a partnership every Quest owner should be really happy about. Now, in a development that's probably just as exciting, there could be a Doom Eternal or Wolfenstein VR game on the way as well, and that certainly is something to note considering their popularity in the last few years. So I'll be straight up with you, this is a leak, and what's happened here is in Australia, they have their own entity that rates things, just like the ESRB that rates games for most of the world. You know, they're the guys that give games an 18 or an 18 plus or a PG or a 12 or a 15 rating or whatever. So what's happened is Bethesda and id Software have submitted a game to the Australian rating board. Now, we all know Bethesda, they publish a lot of games including Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, and the new Wolfenstein games, but id Software, they are the guys who are the makers of the original Wolfenstein games and the new Doom and Doom 2016 games. So the logic here is with these two submitting a game together, that is probably what they're working on again after these reboots of these two franchises were so well received. And this game that they submitted to the Australian rating board, basically it got made public. The game was called Project 2021A. It's been rated R18+ and has a very clear label on this leaked document of it being a VR game. Now, of course, we know a whole lot of nothing about this game really from this sheet, apart from its rating and the fact it's virtual reality and these two companies are involved. But I have to say the conclusions people are drawing here are pretty well founded. It's VR, the same two companies that made whatever this is, but also made Doom and Wolfenstein. I mean, it could be a new IP completely, but I think it's more likely they're trying to expand into the VR space, and Bethesda has already tried to do this a few times with Fallout 4 VR, Skyrim VR. Admittedly, only time will tell, but being called Project 2021A, here's hoping we see something more of that a lot sooner in this coming year. With that rating being at R18+ as well, you can guarantee that there's gore. Well, that's it for the news this week. Actually, all good stuff this week, which makes a change from last week where we were talking about how Apple was damaging their employees' eyeballs. I have to say the thing I'm most interested in from the news this week is definitely id Software and Bethesda's teaming up for a virtual reality game. I know it could be Doom Eternal, it really could be. It looks like that will probably be the case, but I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. But the point is, it shows that there is another AAA game on its way to VR. Hopefully it will also be available on the Quest as well for all you Quest heads out there. But I'm really looking forward to it. But definitely a high second place is definitely the Nextmind, and being able to do all this mind control, kill enemies with your mind, the Jedi Force in VR. Really interested to see how that technology develops, even if I am slightly worried about what they can collect basically from your mind. Next Sunday, we're going to have a very special video on the channel. I did a poll on the channel to see what people wanted to see and gave them some options. And the overall winner was definitely, can you lose weight using only VR as exercise? So over the last 2 weeks, I have been looking into exactly that. And I will put a big, long, in-depth video up about how and if you can do that just using VR. But of course, after that, we're back to the normal state of play, in-depth reviews, gun stock reviews, and of course, VR gaming and VR tech news. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, it really helps out the channel, and don't forget to subscribe down below for more PCVR, Oculus Quest content. That's it for this week. This is Eyes on VR. I've been Rex. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.